You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio, man. We are here once again today. And man, today we have a special guest. We're going to talk to the one and only Tamron Hall. You're sleeping on the rock. You don't know who she is. She's amazing. She has her own talk show. And she also is the new host for Court TV's Someone They Knew with Tamron Hall. I want to welcome the one and only Tamron Hall to the show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great, man. It's great to have you back on. So you're doing something amazing at Court TV. This show is going to be very interesting, full of very interesting cases. This is something that I think is going to be very entertaining for the audience. What has been your response so far?
It's been phenomenal. I mean, we're entering our second season, which starts February 19th on Court TV. And the show's premise really is meant to be thought-provoking. These are some of the most compelling court cases of all time. And in all of these cases, the individual responsible was someone that the victim knew. And so now we're in our second season. We have 24 new episodes and cases from around the country that I really think people will be fascinated by.
And this, like you said, this season, it'll be available February 19th, Sunday. That is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. And with some of the cases, one that sticks out is South Carolina versus Richardson, and back in 2001. With that, it's a lot of heavy emotion, if you will. How do you take your perspective from covering some of these cases?
Well, for me, I did a crime show for 6 years called Deadline Crime with Tamron Hall. And to be honest with you, I actually ended that show because of the emotional toll that it was taking on me. My sister was the victim of a violent crime that is still unsolved. And day in and day out, interviewing people and wanting to share their story, but also taking their sadness and their grief with me home was a lot, because I want justice for every family, just as I wanted justice and want justice for my sister and our family. And when Court TV approached me about this show, I thought, well, this is a different approach to it. One, Court TV, as you know, they've covered some of the biggest cases in the world for a very long time. So their archive is tremendous. So with this show, we're able to take the viewer in through court documents, through court hearings that you get to see, through interrogations in some cases that Court TV has acquired from the police department. And you hear from the victims and those impacted in their own words. And I think that's what makes this so fascinating, is that you as a person who is interested in true crime, you get to see what really happened versus a reenactment versus what someone else says happened. We have the closest people involved, including in the case you mentioned.
And you touched on that. It's no voiceovers, no reporters. Is information, point of views from the victim's family, and also from members of law enforcement, including lawyers and jurors. So this is a very unbiased, like you can say, a 360-degree balanced story that you're actually giving the viewers inside scoop.
Absolutely. And, listen, people will still leave with their opinions. One of the cases that we cover, a woman was eventually acquitted of the murder many years after it happened. Another went unsolved for decades there until 3 people were eventually charged. So I do think even with those court documents, even with the people involved, I've left sometimes wondering if justice was carried out. I've left sometimes wondering why justice was delayed in some of these cases when it seemed quite evident what was going on. So that's the difference in the show. And I think that now being in the second season, we realize that people really are interested in it. I'm asked all the time, why do I think people are interested in true crime? And I think it's the wondering, right? The wondering if you could be one day, and I'm not trying to scare people, but one day could someone betray you? Because a lot of these stories are betrayal. This is people that were close to the victims, whether it was a former lover, a spouse, in some cases, a child, right? Their own children, for insurance money or different reasons, turn from love to evil. And that's what this case follows. It's just such a compelling thing. And I think people wonder, at different times in their lives, maybe not the folks in your home, but maybe someone you've encountered. And that's what the premise is, that this is someone they knew, not a stranger jumping out of the alley, not some chance encounter. This is someone that they knew.
Court TV, someone they knew, with Tamron Hall, the award-winning TV host, journalist, and author Tamron Hall. I want to say thank you for taking time. Y'all can watch this on Sunday, February 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. Court TV. I just want to say thank you, Tamron Hall, taking time to be here talking to us today.
Of course. Thank you. Have a good one.